Today is a very auspicious day for Vaishnavas. So I will start with Purushottam Thakur. Our Gurudev wrote his biography. Only some parts I will read. Sadashiva Suto Namna Nagarah Purushottama Vaidya Vangshodbhavo Namna Dama Jo Balavo Braje. Nagar Purushottam was previously the cowherd named Dam in Braja. He is now born in a Vaidya family as the son of Sadashiva. Dam was one of the 12 Gopals and a companion of Krishna in his childhood pastimes in Braja. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami has listed Purushottam Das amongst the foremost devotees of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Now verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sadashiva Kaviraj was a great personality. Purushottam Das was his son. From birth, Purushottam Das was absorbed in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childlike play with Lord Krishna. His son was named Sri Kanu Thakur, a very respectable gentleman. His body was saturated with the nectar of love for Lord Krishna. And from Chaitanya Bhagavata, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Sadashiva Kaviraj was very fortunate to have a son like Purushottam Das. Purushottam Das had no external consciousness of his body, for Nityananda Prabhu dwelt in his heart. Then, Purushottam Thakur's wife was named Jannava Devi. She died while her son Kanu Thakur was just a young child. Nityananda Prabhu named the boy Shishu Krishna Das. It is said that Nityananda Prabhu's wife Jannava Devi adopted Kanu and took him with her to Vrindavan. Some say that he was also one of the 12 Gopals. Then there was his Shripad, means house, was moved many times, Purushottam, and you know we are singing that song, Brindavana Vasi Joto Vaishnava Go, in the morning. I offer respect to all Vaishnavas. That was written by Devakinandan Das. He is disciple of Purushottam Thakur. So in that song, the one is the short one, Vaishnava Bandhana, another is the long one, where all the names are there. So this is from the long one. I worship Sadashiva Kaviraj with great attentiveness. He was constantly intoxicated with love and had no external consciousness. I worship my worshipable Lord Purushottam Thakur. Who can list his incomparable qualities? He was merciful to those who were devoid of virtue, displaying the natural power of his compassion. When only 7 years old, he was so intoxicated with love for Krishna that he danced in a way that enchanted the entire world. Then in Gauriya Vaishnava Vidan also, it is mentioned Purushottam once ate snake poison when in a trance state, without experiencing any ill effects. This was a source of great astonishment to all those who witnessed it. Many of Nityananda Prabhu's associates often displayed such miraculous powers. So today is his Disappearance Day. I am going down to him and praying his causeless mercy. Also today is the Disappearance Day of Srila Gaur Govinda Sai Maharaj. He appeared in Orissa near Jagannath Puri Dham in a Vaishnava family and they were expert kirtaniyas. They used to sing for Jagannath also on the request or order of king. So since birth he was already a Vaishnava. He was chanting, reading Shastra, worshipping Diti, Gopal, everything. Then he also was studying with some hardship because there was not enough money, but he completed. Then his father left this world. Then he became the one who has to take care of the family. He got that responsibility, and he was married, and he was taking care of family, and also he was school teacher, and he managed his time that he could do all the duties, and at the same time he would do bhajan early in the morning, and sometimes also whenever opportunity arose he was teaching his school students also about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. Some of those also later on became his disciples. So then one year he felt, and some miraculous also events were there. You will find in his biography while in household life what was happening. So then one day he felt that he must search for a spiritual realization more and more, and then he renounced a family life. He wanted to know what is the real meaning of this Mahamantra. We can have, our Gurudev also said, one is external meaning by dictionary or like this, but internal means realized meaning that can be revealed by realized soul, and it will be revealed when we surrender. Then that meaning will be revealed. That is different thing. So he was traveling all over India, many holy places, and he spoke with many sadhus of different branches, but he was not satisfied. Then finally he came to Vrindavan, and there he saw a banner for ISKCON and founder Acharya. So he went there, he met Srila Sai Maharaj, and Sai Maharaj immediately understood his heart and asked him, "You already took sannyas?" Then he said, "No, I did not." "Okay, then I will give you sannyas." Then Guru Govinda Sai Maharaj understood, yes, he is my guru. So he surrendered and got everything, all initiations and sannyas. And then he was engaged by Srila Sai Maharaj to translate his books into Oriya language, and also to establish one temple there in Bhubaneswar. And he did that with great hardship. He was collecting funds and preaching and all this. So Sai Maharaj also, when something was done, Sai Maharaj also came there, was staying there in that mud hut which Guru Govinda Sai Maharaj made for him. Other disciples, they arranged some luxurious, some place like hotel or something where Sai Maharaj will stay, but he said, "No, I will not stay there. I will stay in mud hut which Guru Govinda Maharaj made for me, because that there is devotion is there." Real devotees, they don't desire any comfort. They want devotion. So that time also he intimately instructed Guru Govinda Maharaj in many things. And he also told him, "You will have to become leader also." Then Sai Maharaj disappeared, and that was his last funded project in that Bhubaneswar ISKCON. Then in 91 it was officially opened, And Gaur Govinda Maharaj was preaching all over the world also in a very bold manner and directly speaking about deceitfulness of like having other desires like this. So many also went against him, and he also spoke correct Siddhanta. Because of that also many went against him, but he was fearlessly preaching the truth and preaching all over the world. Then he felt some uneasiness because something was going on, you know that thing. Then he felt, I don't know whether I will stay in this world. Also, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur said this world is not a place for gentlemen to stay. So let me see what is Krishna's desire. Then when he was in Mayapur, then some other devotees, first time they met him, and they asked him why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri. What was the reason? Then Gaur Govinda Sai Maharaj would explain that, he explained that because that is Vipralamba Kshetra. It is a place of separation grief. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling separation grief there in the mood of Radharani from Krishna. Then he also spoke one lila of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan, how they were separated for a long time, and then after a long time they would meet, and there was eye-to-eye union after a long time. And he became so absorbed in speaking this lila that suddenly he just stopped and was crying, and he said, I cannot speak anymore now. So then he requested devotees, you please chant Harinam. So they were chanting, and his sevak, he brought that Gopal deity photo, his family deity, and he was seeing that photo and saying Ha Gopal, and left this world to enter Nitya Lila of Radha Krishna. And there is one song which he used to sing before every class, and there this is written, that let me give up my life worshipping you. I will say Ha Krishna and I will give up my life. So that really happened. This is his glorious disappearance pastime. Not ordinary person, pure devotee. So today is his disappearance day. I'm bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. Today also is the appearance day of one dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Bhudev Srauti Goswami Maharaj. He was born in one Smarta Brahmin family. They are following all Shastra, but not pure devotion. But when he read Gauriya magazine published by Prabhupada, and he met devotees, and he spoke with them, then he became convinced that this is really what Shastra is saying. Purpose of all Shastra is pure devotion to Krishna. So he left that family and came to the Mat. And already he was very pure and renounced. So soon Prabhupada also gave him sannyas. And he knew Sanskrit fluently. He used to speak Harikatha also in Sanskrit in some, like in Kashi, Dham, Lucknow, like in those scholars' assembly, in Sanskrit. And also quoted many evidences in Harikatha from Upanishads. That is necessary for Mayavadi type of people. You have to give that evidence. So he spoke, and he was also engaged in publication, seva, and all other seva, and also Hindi magazine, and like that many services he did. Our Gurudev also mentioned that before because he was from that family, he had one siddhi, mystic power, by which he could take out the poison of snake or of dog or something from person's body if he was bitten by some mantra procedures. So once in Braja Dham, it happened, Brajamana Parikrama of our mat, he was there. One brahmachari was bitten by dog, and he had to be taken to Mathura to give injection, to take injection. But all were very sorry that they will miss Brajamana Parikrama, so they requested Srauti Maharaj to do this. He said, no, I will not do this. That I did before joining Vidima. But after repeated requests, he said, okay. Then Gurudev told that he put that brahmachari on some like round thing, like some platform round, and he had to stand there, and then he was chanting some mantra and doing something. Then that platform, like a disc, it started to rotate by itself. No, means by the power of that mantra, no one was pushing or pulling or nothing. By that mantra, it was turning, rotating. Then that went on up for some time. Then when it stopped, then Maharaj said, okay, now he's okay. Now no poison, nothing is there. So he was cured. Then everyone requested him, you please teach us, Maharaj. Then he said, no, even if I would teach you, you cannot get it like that. You have to submit to that preceptorial channel and do that sadhana. Then you can get that perfection, that it will work. It is not so easy. And also, you should not be interested in these things. This is for material benefits. You came here to worship Krishna. You should worship him. That is the purpose of human life. So in that way, our Gurudev used to explain this example that it is same in Vaishnava line, that if you want to get realization, then you have to submit to preceptorial channel and do that practice as per their instruction. Then you can get. You cannot get just by reading some books and no practice, and that you will just get some knowledge. No. You have to submit and realize. So today, as Srila Srauti Goswami Maharaj, he read that Vedanta Sutra published by Siddhanta Maharaj, Baladev Bhushans, he also proofread, and many publications he was engaged. So I'm bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. And today is our main festival, is Appearance Day of Prabhupada Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. You know, there is one verse in Padma Purana, Hyut Kalehi Purushottam, that from Purushottam Dham, Puri Dham, Krishna Bhakti will spread all over the world from Purushottam Dham. So this prediction of Vyasadeva happened when Prabhupada appeared there in Purushottam Dham, because through him Krishna Bhakti spread all over the world. This prediction was there. So his father, you know, is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, but they never had like father-son relationship, like a guru and disciple. And mother is Bhagavati Devi. She is also pure devotee. always chanting and serving Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all children. They are devotees, so not ordinary. She also disappeared on the same day. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but later on. So in Purushottam Dham, while Bhaktivinoda Thakur was staying there, the king engaged him to manage the seva of Jagannath because so much corruption was going on. This is Kali Yuga. So much corruption. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur fixed that. Then seva was going on smoothly. So while in Puri, Thakur Bhaktivinoda was studying all Shastra. Of course, his personal associate of Krishna, Kamal Manjari, he knows everything, but he played the pastime. He was reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavatam, Sat Sandarbha of Jiva Goswami, and Siddhanta Ratnam of Baladev Vidabhushan, all Shastras he was studying there. That time he prayed to get someone who can spread this teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he prayed to Jagannath. Then when Prabhupada appeared in this world, then that umbilical cord, you know, when a child is coming out, umbilical cord connected with mother navel, that was wrapped around his shoulder like Brahmin thread. When he was born, it was like that. So that was the first sign that he is not ordinary person, and he was very shining, and Thakur Bhaktivinoda gave him name Bimala Prasad. Bimala is Devi, Bimala Devi of Jagannath's internal potency. So her grace. He gave him name Bimala Prasad. Then when he was 6 months old, there was a Ratha Yatra, and Jagannath was passing that house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur where our Chaitanya Gauriya Mat is there. Parangurudev recovered that place, and Jagannath would not move from there. They tried but cannot move. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur organized Nama Sankirtan there in front of Jagannath Dev, in front of his house, constantly Nama Sankirtan. And then on the third day, Bhagavati Devi, she brought Prabhupada, Bimala Prasad, 6 months old baby, and took him up. The Pandas, they allowed, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was known person. He was judge and also engaged in that for Jagannath Seva. So they took him up in front of Jagannath, and she offered him, and Jagannath threw one garland on him. And they gave also Jagannath Prasad, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur fed that Bimala Prasad. One samskara is when the child will first take solid food, some grain. So that samskara he made with the Jagannath Prasad. Then after this was finished, then Jagannath again went further after 3 days. So he wanted to show, here is one my devotee appeared here. I'm staying here, I'm not going anywhere. So then Prabhupada was not ordinary, always ideal character, truthful, not deceitful, and very bright, intelligence and everything. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when they were building that house in Kolkata, while digging for a foundation, one Kurma Dev was found, Diti, Bhagavan. Then he gave this Diti to Prabhupada to worship. Before that, he already gave him Harinam initiation, and told him to wear tilak all the time, and then engaged him in the worship of kurma and gave him mantra by which to offer. So Prabhupada, at the age of 7, he was worshipping kurma because kurma is the rescuer of the Vedas. Like that, Prabhupada's lila also is to rescue this Gauriya Siddhanta from this misrepresentation, misapplication, to save that. Because there was a need. After the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates and successors, then so many pseudo-sects came. They were saying we are teaching Mahaprabhu's message, but they were doing immoral activities in the name of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu had to first send Srila Bhakti Thakur, Kamal Manjari from Golok Vrindavan, and Bhakti Thakur wrote more than 100 books in all different kinds of formats. It is amazing. And giving evidence from all Shastras, different, Vedanta Sutra everywhere, Upanishads, Smriti, Purana everywhere. And very clear, and he refuted all those misconceptions and gave what is the proper teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and what Goswamis they wrote. He wrote in simple Bengali so that everyone can understand and there can be no confusion. So then, and he was also preaching in India, and he took Prabhupada with him. And Prabhupada was also engaged sometimes in explaining Chaitanya Charitamrita. And when he was staying in Puri, he got one mat to manage. But he was so pure that they became disturbed. So because of that disturbance, Bhaktivinoda Thakur then told they are not able to follow that standard. So you go to Mayapur and do bhajan there. You chant Harinam. Then Prabhupada went there and he was chanting 3 lakhs Harinam in Mayapur. But before that, already also in 1900, he met Gurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj in Godrun Swananda Sukada Kunja, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur ordered him, you should take Diksha from him. Prabhupada said, I was observing people of this world and also sadhus, but I did not find anyone who would be perfect character. Always I saw some defect or some deceitfulness, so I could not surrender myself to anyone. So I already gave up that this is at all possible, that someone can have ideal character. But this, my conception changed when I met Gurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He was ideal character, 24 hours engaged in the service of Krishna purely. So then he requested him many times before finally Gurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj it happened, he approached him, and Gurkishore Das Babaji said, no, I am not taking any disciples. But again and again, Prabhupada was coming. Then Gurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, okay, I will ask Mahaprabhu. What he will order, that I will do. The next time Prabhupada came, and he asked, did you ask? And Gurkishore said, no, I forgot. So this was one kind of like a test. Our Gurudev told, if someone has false ego, he would not be able to tolerate this, that he is rejected and this type of, he will think, oh, what is the use of going to this guru? There are so many gurus I can get from anywhere. And Prabhupada himself also told, because I had such character and such scholarship and everything, those from another side of Ganga, that Koladvip, Navadip Goswamis, they were all very eager to get him as a disciple, to get that benefit. They were trying to catch me. But when I went to Gurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he rejected me as if I'm totally insignificant. I'm zero. I'm nothing. Then I was shocked. What is this? So like that he was coming. Then finally he said, You ask Mahaprabhu, Gorkishore Das will say yes. What did he say? Mahaprabhu said, I should not give you mantra because you are a very proud person. You think you are a great scholar and good character and high family, all this. You cannot get mantra of Gauranga or Krishna. That can descend only. Proud person cannot have any, cannot do any kind of worship of Krishna. So I should not give you mantra. Then Prabhupada did not argue back. Only he was very sad and his face became pale. Then seeing that, then Gorkishore Das Babaji said, actually you are the only one person who is able to preach Mahaprabhu's message all over the world. Because you are Trinada Pisu, Nichana Tarora Pisu. That is the teaching of Mahaprabhu. You have no pride. So he gave him mantra, blessed him, and he told him, you will have to preach all over the world. You are only one capable of doing this. Then he was, I told before, chanting in Mayapur. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur engaged him in one debate. Some Smarta Brahmins attacked the Vaishnavas, arguing you are low class, you are doing this, that is wrong, that is only for Brahmins, study of Shastra like this. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was old. He sent Prabhupada, and Prabhupada spoke the glories of Brahmins so much that they were astonished. They did not know so much glories of Brahmins from Shastra. Then he spoke the glories of Vaishnavas, then everyone was silent. Then they understood. So he did that, and the Vishwambharananda Goswami of Radharaman, he told to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he will carry on your mission of pure devotion. He is capable. I saw, I was there, how he presented Mahaprabhu's or Shastra. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur disappeared. Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj disappeared. Then Prabhupada was thinking, chanting and thinking how I will be able to preach. My gurus, they ordered me. I spoke now about Gorkishore Das Babaji, but Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also he wrote one letter to Prabhupada in 1910, 4 years before his disappearance. So I want to read that letter so that you can know what Bhaktivinoda Thakur ordered Prabhupada. Sarasvati, people of this world who are proud of their own aristocratic birth cannot attain real aristocracy. Therefore, they attack the pure Vaishnavas, saying they have taken birth in low-class families because of their sins. But Vaishnava is no sin, and in whichever birth they get, they are pure. So that is real aristocracy, that is real high position, that is Vaishnava has that. So thus they commit offenses. The solution to the problem is to establish the order of Deva Varna Ashram Dharma. That means not based on birth, but based on qualities. One is Brahmin, one is Kshatriya, one is like this. So that was corruption, and Deva means proper, Shastrik Varna Ashram Dharma. Something you have started doing. You should know that to be the real service to the Vaishnavas. That is why Prabhupada introduced this to give Brahmin thread and Brahma Gayatri to those also who are not born in Brahmin family, to show that Vaishnavas, those who are engaged in the service of Brahma, means Brahman or Supreme Lord, they are also Brahmin according to Shastra. So you should not think them they are some low class. So because pure devotional conclusions are not being preached, all kinds of superstitions and bad concepts are being called devotion by such pseudo-sampradayas as Sahajya and Atibari. Please always crush these anti-devotional concepts by preaching pure devotional conclusions and by setting an example through your personal conduct. That is compassion of a Vaishnava and Krishna. Because they mislead themselves, they are deceitful, they want some ulterior things, some other desires they have in the name of teaching of Mahaprabhu. So they are cheating themselves and they are misleading others also. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, no, this should not be there. You should refute those. It is not like attacking for name and fame or some malice. No, that is compassion to help them and that they will not mislead others. So, but how you can do this? Not only by loudly speaking on mic and that loudspeaker, you are wrong, you are wrong. No. You have to first be yourself established in the teaching of Mahaprabhu. You have to have that behavior, that realization and pure character and also knowledge of Siddhanta, then you can speak by your personal conduct. If there is no personal example, personal conduct, personal practice, then no one can actually help anyone. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him this responsibility. One is Deva Varnashram Dharma, another is to tell what is not Mahaprabhu's teaching and what is, by your own example. Then further, please make great effort so you can start parikrama of Sridham Navadip as soon as possible. It is by those actions that everyone in this world will receive Krishna Bhakti. So this also Prabhupada did. Please try very hard to make sure that the service to Sri Mayapur will become a permanent thing and will become brighter and brighter every day. That means Jogapit Mandir, Jagannath Das Babaji confirmed what Bhaktivinoda Thakur found, that holy place, so Diti was installed. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur entrusted this seva of Mayapur Jogapit to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. It should be permanent thing. He gave him that place. And will become brighter and brighter every day. The real service to Sri Mayapur can be done by acquiring printing presses, distributing devotional books, and Sankirtan preaching. So this Prabhupada, everything to the word of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's order, he did everything. Totally, he followed his order. He printed so many books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, the books of Goswamis, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he printed, commented, and translations were also there, and so many magazines, and they were distributing this. Please do not neglect to serve Sri Mayapur or to preach for the sake of your own reclusive bhajan. So you should not do like solitary bhajan and neglect this service to Mayapur by preaching. So you have to preach. When I'm not present anymore, please take care to serve Sri Mayapur Dham, which is so dear to you. This is my special instruction to you. People who are like animals can never attain devotion, therefore never take their suggestions. But do not let them know this directly or indirectly. So don't follow anyone, and because they don't know. I had a special desire to preach the significance of such books as Srimad Bhagavatam, Sat Sandarbha, and Vedanta Darshan. That means Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. You have to accept that responsibility. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur whole life he was preaching the significance of these all books, but he said you have to go on doing this. You have to accept that responsibility. So he ordered him. Sri Mayapur will prosper if you establish an educational institution there. This he also did. He opened Bhaktivinoda Institute for secular education and spiritual. Together it was there. And also Mat is also educational institution where they are getting spiritual education. Never make any effort to collect knowledge or money for your own enjoyment. Only to serve the Lord will you collect these things. That is the difference. Whether you are using for the service or you are exploiting. So never engage in bad association, either for money or for some self-interest. Signed, Kedarnath Datta Bhakti Vinod. So if you see the life of Prabhupada, everything he did totally according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's order. So that was his letter in 1910. So Prabhupada was thinking how I will fulfill the orders of my gurus, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Then one day he got Swapna Samadhi in dream. He got darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his associates and 6 Goswamis and Guru Parampara, Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das, they came to him. And Mahaprabhu told, yes, you have to preach everywhere. Then Prabhupada said, how I can do that? I have no money, I have no people. Then Mahaprabhu said, don't worry about that. I will send you everything. Everything is waiting for you. You just start. I'm sending everything. So then Prabhupada was totally changed. After getting this darshan, of course, he's also eternal associate of Radharani, Nayan Moni Manjari, directly under Rupa Manjari serving. So she was ordered to come to this world to preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because that situation happened, so many pseudo sects. So those who were his followers already at that time, they saw how he was changed and he was very enthusiastic and very shining. Then he took sannyas because at that time Babajis were not in good name. So many immoral activities were going on in the name of Mahaprabhu's this teaching, and Babaji means like Paramahamsa, means beyond the regulations of Shastra and any worldly etiquette and like this. So they were doing immoral activities and they were saying, no, we are Paramahamsa. So all educated class in India, they lost faith in Mahaprabhu by seeing them. So Prabhupada had to rectify that situation. So he took sannyas. Although he is Paramahamsa, means one who is exclusively 24 hours engaged in the service of Krishna. He cannot do any sinful activity, impossible for him. But they were misusing this, or for begging, like so many things going on. So all people, they lost faith. So Prabhupada took sannyas, which is a part of Varna Ashram Dharma and under the regulation of Shastra. So he was following that sannyas so perfectly to show that Mahaprabhu's teaching is pure teaching and it is based on Shastra. There is no room for any sinful activities or anything, only pure devotion to Krishna, and to show that real Babaji, like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, also Bhaktivinoda Thakur also took Babaji Besh in his last years to show that they are pure. Because if you see character of Prabhupada, so pure, and he's worshipping his gurus, who are Babaji. So he showed there are transcendental Babajis also there existing. So for that reason he had to take sannyas, although he was natural Paramahamsa. No need to Babaji like this. He's a pure devotee, personal associate. He's coming from effulgence of Radharani, not Tatashta Shakti, Swarup Shakti, from Radharani. So he appeared, then he started to preach in Calcutta and Mayapur and then all over India, and he re-established the dignity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message so that Gauriya Vaishnavism became the leading spiritual authority in India at that time. Whenever there was some dispute or something, they would call Gauriya Mat to give judgment, whether this is right or wrong, or this is according to Shastra, or like they would. So, and he met all big persons, governors, all presidents, all, and other sadhus and everyone. So it is amazing if you read his biography, what he did, and continuously, no wastage of time, and so many things he did. So many magazines, so many books, so many places, preaching, so many followers, so many these mats he opened, 64 mats, and he sent also to Europe to preach. And later on his disciple, he wrote in his last article in Gauriya magazine that now preaching in Europe is already going on. So why America should be left out? Soon America will also get this mercy. So then his disciple, he ordered him, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, he ordered him to sign Maharaj, in letter, you will have to preach in English language all over the world. So that spread later on. It's all by the grace of Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. Mahaprabhu is behind. So then he, and some people, they wrongly think he only came to give like Vaidhi external these practices. That is okay, that is fully correct in Gauriya Math, but there is no Raganuga. They are wrong. Because Raganuga, you must have that qualification. There are two approaches. One is Ajata Ruchi, one is Jata Ruchi. After one attains Ruchi, or before one attains Ruchi. That before one attains Ruchi, that process was fully misused during that time. And it was harmful to them because they were mentally speculating and they were thinking Radha Krishna Lila and their lust increased and so on. That was misused. That was not rejected by Prabhupada, but it was so misused. So he did not adopt that. But he said, you do bhajan, and when by chanting pure Harinam, you will get some realization of your, some glimpses of your eternal Swarup in relation to Radha Krishna, then you present that to Gurudev. Then he will further guide you. then you can engage in that. He came to give this, but he did not want that people should be deprived by some imagination, mental speculation, all these things. So Raganuga is there, but you have to follow program strictly given by Prabhupada and his followers. Then you will get that gradually if you sincerely follow, and naturally it will happen. It is there. Prabhupada is real Brajavasi, Nayamani Manjari, so he is giving that Rupanuga Bhaktida. But we have to follow strictly the process. Then everything we can get. So his glory is unlimited. No one can finish. It is amazing what he did. We cannot even imagine how this was done. If you read his biographies that our Gurudev wrote, and also Jayashri, Saraswati Jayashri, it is amazing. So then, when he fulfilled all the desires of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and his disciples also were eligible to carry on that mission of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then he left this world, went back to Radharani. So today is his appearance day. We are all indebted to him. Without him, we would not sit now here and discuss this Krishna consciousness. So we should not be ungrateful. We have to be grateful and submit fully and pray for his grace. And if we are sincere, we can get his grace and we can make our life successful, getting pure devotion of Radha Krishna by his grace. So I'm remembering his Madhi Mandir in Mayapur and bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. Tomorrow we'll hear about one, also his dear disciple, Goswami Maharaj.